Neville O'Reilly Livingston O'Moj, known professionally as Bunny Wailer, was a Jamaican singer-songwriter and percussionist. He was an original member of reggae group The Wailers along with Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, a three-time Grammy Award winner. He is considered one of the long-time standard-bearers of reggae music. He was also known as Jarby, Bunny O'Reilly, and Bunny Livingston. Wailer was born Neville O'Reilly Livingston on 10 April 1947 in Kingston. He spent his earliest years in the village of 9 Mile in St. Anne Parish. It was there that he first met Bob Marley, and the two young boys befriended each other quickly. The boys both came from single-parent families. Livingston was brought up by his father, Marley by his mother. Later, Wailer's father Thaddeus Thaddy Shutt Livingston lived with Marley's mother Cedella Booker in Trenchtown and had a daughter with her named Pearl Livingston. Peter Tosh had a son, Andrew Tosh, with Wailer's sister Shirley, making Andrew his nephew. Wailer had originally gone to audition for Leslie Kong at Beverly's Records in 1962. Around the same time his stepbrother Bob Marley was cutting Judge Not. Wailer had intended to sing his first composition, Pass It On, which at the time was more ska-oriented. However, Wailer was late getting out of school and missed his audition. A few months later, in 1963, he formed the Wailing Wailers with Marley and friend Peter Tosh, and the short-term members Junior Braithwaite and Beverly Kelso. Wailer tended to sing lead vocals less often than Marley and Tosh in the early years. But when Marley left Jamaica in 1966 for Delaware in the US, and was briefly replaced by Constantine Vision Walker, Wailer began to record and sing lead vocals on some of his own compositions, such as Who Feels It Knows It, I Stand Predominant, and Sunday Morning. Wailer's style of music was influenced by gospel music and the soul singer Curtis Mayfield. In 1967, he recorded This Train, based on a gospel standard, for the first time. At Studio One, Wailer was arrested on charges of possession of cannabis in June 1967 and served a 14-month prison sentence. Around this time he, Bob Marley, and Peter Tosh signed an exclusive recording agreement with Danny Sims Jad Records and an exclusive publishing agreement with Sims Music Publishing Company Cayman Music. As the Wailers regularly changed producers in the late 1960s, Wailer continued to contribute songs to the group's repertoire. The music critic Kwame Dawes says that Wailer's song lyrics were carefully crafted and literary in style, and he remained a key part of the group's distinctive harmonies. Wailer sang lead on such songs as Dreamland for his own label. Bunny Wailer toured with the Wailers in England and the United States, but soon became reluctant to leave Jamaica. He and Tosh were more marginalized in the group as the Wailers attained international success, and attention was increasingly focused on Marley. Wailer subsequently left the Wailers in 1973 and adopted the name Bunny in pursuit of a solo career after balking when Chris Blackwell wanted the Wailers to tour freak clubs in the United States, stating that it was against his Rastafari principles. Before leaving the Wailers, Wailer had become more focused on his spiritual faith. He identified with the Rastafari movement, as did the other Wailers. He also composed much of his own material as well as re-recording a number of cuts from The Wailers' catalogue. Wailer recorded primarily in the roots style. In keeping with his often political and spiritual messages, his album Black Heart Man was well received. After leaving the Wailers, Wailer experimented with disco on his album Hook, Line and Sinker. While sings the Wailers reworks many of the Wailers songs with the backing of Jamaican session musicians, Sly and Robbie. He also had success recording in the typically apolitical, more pop, dancehall style. Wailer's music had dancehall and rockers influences, best exemplified by the album Bunny Wailer Sings the Wailers, on which he reinterpreted some of The Wailers' material as a solo roots singer with roots reggae-based backing by Sly and Robbie. The album, produced by Bunny Wailer, was recorded at Harry J Studio. Some of these tracks are reworked classic Wailers tracks such as Dreamland, a cover of El Tempo's My Dream Island, with slightly reworked lyrics that became Bunny's signature song. This was recorded in 1966 by Clement Coxon Dodd, and in 1972 with Lee Scratch Perry. It was released as a 7 inches in 1971 with a U-Roy version on the B-side. Another classic is Dancing Shoes. First recorded in the mid-1960s as a driving ska soul classic with Bunny Wailer on lead vocals. Wailer won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album 3 times. In 1991 for the album Time Will Tell, a tribute to Bob Marley. In 1995 for Crucial Roots Classics. And in 1997 for Hall of Fame, a tribute to Bob Marley's 50th anniversary. He was also featured on Th.